every day I tell myself that I'm gonna be a better person. Maybe I've done a few steps forward, but at the core I'm the same guy who decided to leave.
I've been out of the shower for, I don't know, 25 minutes, something like that. My hair's still wet, it's cold. I think one of the only things that makes being cold worth it is when you get to curl up again and you're warm. Because it's like, when you were cold all that time, you know, it kind of gives this sense of relief to you, where the act of being cold isn't fun, but the act of getting warm is. So when you put that blanket on you, it's almost like the feeling of safety is bestowed upon you. It's been a very long time since I've been able to just sit down without listening into anything. To just sit down and wait, let things happen. It's like I always need something in the background, something to keep my mind from wandering, to keep me from thinking. Because I'm afraid if I don't always have noise in the background, that my mind is going to wander to a place that I don't want it to. That I'm going to think about something upsetting, I'm going to remember something, I'm going to be bothered with existence. And so in order to curb that, I just always have things on in the background. But I'm getting to a point where no matter how much I do have on in the background, I keep feeling lonely, and I'll start thinking about the things that make me upset, even when I watch something or have something on. I'll still be thinking about things like that. No, my attention will be curbed, or I'll just keep thinking and thinking into my own head instead of paying attention. I've never really been good at focusing anyway, so I guess it's not a surprise. But this didn't used to happen. Now it does. And the answer that I've come up with for that is to just find more things to escape into. I still can't really deal with the fact that I am here and that I have to think about that. I have to live with that until it's over. It's very hard. It's very hard not to just tune it out all the time. I tried meditation for a while, and meditation did help for a little bit, but now it just scares me, because I don't want to be sitting down trying to clear my mind and then have a thought that I don't like, that I'm afraid of, to come into it. So I haven't been doing meditation. I'm really afraid of not being in control of these types of moods, of not being able to just live in the place, time that I want to, not being able to feel what I want to. I keep getting these heart palpitations, so I've had to take a lot of anxiety meds for them. I get extremely anxious, my hands start shaking and stuff, and so it's harder to do things. It's harder to do things when I have to focus on my heart, but the problem is that when I take this medicine so much, it's that it makes my energy just go down, makes it harder to do things. I don't know. This computer right here is my main connection to all of the world. Because if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have any entertainment whatsoever. This is my entertainment. This is my connection to other people. This is where I live from. It's where I think from. It's where I communicate from. And I don't think it would be nearly as bad as that if there were just things to do where I live. I go outside and the only thing we have are just trees, roads, boring buildings. There's no pizzazz. There's no interesting aesthetic. There's nothing to do. It's just there. Sure, it's a nice area to live in, marginally speaking, but there's nothing here. Even the places I do want to go to in favor of this, they still don't really have anything to do. Like, I want to go to Alaska. Alaska doesn't really have anything to do. But I think it's aesthetically better. So I just don't care. I'd be content to walk around in the snow. We don't have snow here or anything else. We just have the internet and people. I have trouble talking to the people here because when I try to, my heart starts racing and I get scared. That happens to me sometimes just with talking to people online. People who I don't know, people who I'm not acquainted with. Especially if they're my age. I'm really scared of talking to people my age. So I end up just retreating. I can be pretty charismatic talking to people who I know very well and who I instantly know what to say to. I can make jokes about stuff that we mutually care about, but without that kind of connection, there's not really much you can do with people in real life. People in real life don't really care about the stuff that I care about. So, the only place I can find people who do care is on the computer. The only place I can find something to do is on the computer. But man, I'm getting sick of it. How long is it going to be like this? I try to learn new things, I try to be productive, but I just keep feeling so bad. It's like that's the only thing there. It's this gaping void that is my life. The only thing I can do is just make more things in order to fill that fucking void. That's all I have, is just making more things. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't even know if I want to do anything else. I try to learn a language, but I find myself sitting there trying to memorize the vocabulary, and it just feels all so tedious. So what do you do in a situation like that? Do you just stay here forever and just keep making fucking YouTube videos all the time? Is it the only thing I'm gonna know how to do? No. I don't know how to do anything else. There's nothing to do here, and I'm scared of people. I think a lot of people would look at my room and they would immediately want to clean it up. They would think that I have too much trash on the floor, that there's too many things misplaced, moved around, put in the wrong area. As much as I like organizing my own room to make it look right, as much as I obsess over it, these days I just can't find the energy. I would rather let the room continue cultivating more trash, more dust, more unorganization, because the act of moving a few steps and bending down to pick someone up just seems to be too much for me. I don't know how I expect myself to get anything done when I have motivation and discipline that bad. Making videos these days is really hard because I both don't have the energy to do virtually anything, and the concepts that I end up coming up with videos, every time I try to convey them, I end up feeling worse afterwards, because I think about all the different flaws the video has. I think about all the different ways I could have done this or that right. And so by the time it's out, I don't feel good about the product. The problem with that, though, is that I don't have anything else that I can do. If this is the only thing that I can get myself to do in any circumstance, then why is this ending up being the soul-crushing thing that's strangling me right here, that I feel like needs to change, but I don't know how to? If this is the only thing I can do, then you'd think I'd be good at it. You'd think I'd like doing it. And there are times when I feel that way, when I feel like I'm producing a lot of good stuff. I'm producing things that I like, but most of the time, I look at my own work with disgust. I look at it and I get mad. If this is the only thing I can do, you'd think I'd be putting a hell of a lot more effort into it. That I'd be producing, well-written masterpieces, instead of releasing half-baked nonsense that doesn't even reach half of the goals that I had when I made it in my mind. This channel is kind of dying, I feel like. The only thing that I have any drive to do anymore are to make videos with my friends on the Shonen Running channel. Well, that's the only thing where I feel like I am actually creatively fulfilled, and when it comes to this channel, it just feels totally stagnant, like there's nothing there. So, I have no idea where this is supposed to go. Maybe I'll take a month off, who knows. Maybe I'll only live stream. Live streaming's fun. I don't know how to do these vlogs anymore. So I feel like I've exhausted myself. I have no research, no material that I can just pull out on the channel that I've already said, that I haven't already said. There's a few stories that I could tell, but every time I've tried to tell them, I've always ended up messing up in some way, and I get dissatisfied with the video and I throw it out. There's a lot of stuff that I record these days that I just don't upload, because I don't want people to see it. So, how do I get past this? To tell you the truth, I don't know. No motivation, no energy. I've just been sleeping the days away, hours at a time, 16-hour sleep cycles. Zero motivation to get anything done. I just keep laying around. I just want to go back. I want to go back to the productive person I used to be. I keep thinking all the time about I used to be this and that, but part of me feels like that's over. I want videos out on my own channel that feel good, that look good. But maybe this was destiny. Maybe I'll come back in a few months with some great idea that'll dazzle everyone. But until then,